About time I did another one of these video blogs. Pinger will go when I'm finished. Yeah, I thought I'd talk about mysteries in my own life today. I'm not talking about supernatural mysteries, I'm talking about the mysteries of why things either don't happen that should happen, or things, well, that do happen that shouldn't happen, yes. Both in my own life and in the real world. Now, in my life, I was ready to get married as soon as I got my degree. Now, being a bit older than most people when I got my degree, I buggered it up a few times. I was 24, and as soon as I left my college, my polytechnic as they used to call them, all the people that were anybody were already paired up. So I ended up going after all the leftovers, all the peculiarities, and numerous people who had mental illness problems, even though I didn't know it when I met them. Don't know what that says about me. It's not their fault. It didn't even put me off them, but it just ruined everything as it was, you know, very difficult going out with somebody who hears voices or spends half the year in hospital in a secure ward. Anyway, there were, I think, 5 women in the last 30 years who I would have married, who would have married me, and each one of them has been sabotaged for some reason. One, her parents didn't think I was good enough for her and wouldn't let her go out with me. Another one I decided was too far away, and when I realised how few others there were around that were as good as her, she got married, even though she was still interested in me, as I discovered out afterwards. Too late now. Another one, as soon as her ex-boyfriend found out she was seeing me, he called her up even though he wasn't interested in her until that particular day, because they hadn't been out for a year. So, you know, it's nearly happened. There's nothing wrong with me. If there was anything wrong with me, I wouldn't get all the opportunities that I do get, but none of them have been marriage material, really. I've dropped my standards every 10 years, as I always said. When I was 30 I wouldn't be so fussy, when I was 40 I wouldn't be fussy at all, and when I was 50 I'd take just about anything, which I will do, but you've got to have a bare minimum standard. They've got to be physically acceptable, and you've got to be able to have a conversation with them, and even when I find one, I can't find one with both yet, i.e. who's actually interested in me. Loads of women like that, millions of them, because I've dropped my standards now so much. Those are the only 2 requirements I want, you know, don't have to be perfect. So, you know, I'm only so many years left in my life. Got this far, had numerous girlfriends, but none of them were really lasting ones. They wouldn't reach my own standards. If they reached my own standards, they'd dump me. If they didn't reach my own standards, I had to dump them. And neither was one where we stayed together for very long, because we both reached each other's standards. So if there was anything wrong with me, I wouldn't be able to get them either. But got plenty of offers, believe me, but better off to be on my own than to be with the wrong person, because I think if I was to get married, that would be it. I wouldn't intend to pack it in a hurry unless it became absolutely unbearable. I wouldn't have got that far in the first place. Anyway, that was one mystery, because somebody was asking me this question the other day and I haven't a bloody clue, because you know, I've seen men who are shorter than me, you know, about the size of the average woman, but that hasn't stopped most men getting women. And you know, I've only been losing my hair about the last 20 years, and that didn't make a lot of difference. And even when I could go out and do all the things that every other person can do, it didn't encourage women to go out with me. You know, you won't go into a restaurant now. Oh, I'm not going to go out with you because you don't go into a restaurant. You know, you don't find these things out till you're already going out with someone usually. And usually, I think they'd have to be a bit stupid to be put off with someone who didn't want to go in a restaurant. There are other things you can do with a man besides going in a restaurant, possibly a cinema. I could be persuaded to go in one of those at a pinch. Done that enough times. Anyway, you know, you think about what's wrong with me, how many problems can a person have before it'll be completely unmarketable, and none of mine are that bad, really, when you consider it. Anyway, I'll leave that for the viewers. The other one is I've been scientifically and politically carrying on studying this global warming business, because basically, if you actually read the source reports from the IPCC, they're not saying there's a big problem. They're not saying they're certain. They're saying there will be benefits. They're saying they can't prove a single event is due to man-made global warming, yet all the politicians have taken their worst case scenario, which is actually going to be after we're all dead in 100 years, so nobody will ever know, and they're actually spending money, throwing away money, destroying society, destroying civilization, now being encouraged to do so, voted in to do so by people that want to destroy capitalism, people that want to steal our money. So you've got the far left and the far right working together without even realising it, because the far left hate capitalism so they can see global warming as you know, all these factories generate carbon dioxide, so, you know, smash the factories, Trotsky, Marx, all that lot, destroy the superstructure, the infrastructure and the capitalists, and let's have a world revolution. The trouble is that these idiots don't realise if they did that, they might actually want to go on holiday or go and visit their family and wouldn't be able to, because there wouldn't be any bloody transport left, because they destroyed the factories that create it, and the transport because they banned coal and they banned oil. So they're a bunch of stupid wankers, because the point is the world is identical for all of us. So certainly the civilised world is, and if their countries become uncivilised and you get water rationing and fuel rationing and all the energy rationing, they'll be sitting in the dark for 6 hours a day, just like they are now in Nigeria. They actually think they want that. Now, I've had the power cuts in the 1970s. They were no fun at all. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, and that's what they want. What is wrong with people? I think they've got their brains up their arse. At least the criminals are honest with themselves, because all they want to do is steal your money and my money. And however they do it doesn't matter, because they've got no morals. They don't actually care about who their victims are. They don't have any feeling for the victims. As far as they're concerned, you know, you and I want to get jobs or earn money in a decent way, and if we can we will, but we're not going to take somebody else's money because we've brought up properly and we've got morals. As far as they're concerned, they need the money, they're greedy, they want as much as possible. They don't give a shit where they get it from. They will get it in any possible way they can, and those are the people that are driving the global warming story, because as far as I could find out, 95% of the carbon credit companies are the same people who are generating the research. So what you do is you say that we need carbon credits and then buy up all the carbon credits yourself, so that people are paying you, like Al Gore owns the carbon credit company that he invented. You know, do you need an IQ of more than 100 to realise that this is going on? I don't think you do. I think it's the most bloody obvious thing in the world. I mean, Enron developed the whole of their, well, capital, you can't even call it capital because it didn't exist, their future accounting, shall we say, based on non-existent energy contracts in the future. Now all we're doing with carbon credits is doing what Enron did. We all know what happened to them. They went broke, they cost people millions of pounds, and this is now happening on a world scale. So we've got the combination of the robbers who are organising it, and the far left who are doing all their work and their footwork for them, going around telling everyone you've got to, oh my finger's going, that you've got to turn off all your appliances and use less fuel and everything, and you've got the bloody lambs lying down with the wolves, and all the innocent people are getting torn apart as well. Anyway, that's the end of my 10 minutes. I'll say goodbye. Let's hope a few people get the point.